said that, replied and said that there's someone trying to do the proper geography of Paul's mission in RPG Maker, so I'll have to look that up. I'm guessing that would be, I'm not sure if that would be, I've never even really heard of that. I'm guessing they mean the early church's camp or whatever. I'll look up that. I do not know about that. I'm not even sure how this broadcasting thing works, so I had already done some talking before, but I'm not sure if it's because I stopped the broadcast, if it was immediately lost, or if it archives. Not sure if anybody is hearing me right. I don't know one's hearing me right now, but if people will be able to see archives or not. So yeah. So if anybody wants to use the archives and you want to tell me, that'd be cool. Or if you have any questions or suggestions or research that you've seen to help me figure out how to do this. Just figuring out the geography and topography is going to be hard enough. Can't really go off of real geography because the Temple Mount is like 4,000 feet or meters in elevation, so pretty much that would be 4,000 blocks if it was meters, so I'm guessing that's feet. But then I would have to start really high in the sky. So I think I'm just trying to, the general area is all around the same height, so I'll have to just act like there's, that we're already above sea level, even though we're only about 30 feet above sea level. And then just draw current topography of Jerusalem from topography maps and do everything relative to the Temple Mount pretty much. I thought this would be a good idea just because I know nothing about kind of what things look like back then, and it's kind of a cool thing to do in Minecraft. Couldn't think of anything else cooler to do in Minecraft. I wanted to see how the temple looked like in person. Obviously, it wasn't that important to Jesus as far as overall theology. Obviously, it was probably he did call it his father's house, so it was important to him. But he obviously also said it's just stone and would be broken down, and obviously some of that was metaphors for his body, but some of it was, I'm guessing, prophecy of the Romans destroying it after his death. It's very interesting seeing all the different things about the temple. Surprised to see that no Jews are let into the Temple Mount area at all now, and the only thing they can pretty much do is the Western Wall. I also didn't know that the term Wailing Wall is actually somewhat derogatory, so no one actually uses that term anymore. I guess that was mainly an American thing to say. So if you said Wailing Wall, not called Wailing Wall, it's called Western Wall, which because it's the Western Wall of the Temple Mount. I find it strange that they pretty much say the thing about the temple. It was so elaborate as far as large size and how it was intricate and its kind of creativity. Not creativity. It's kind of uniqueness in multiple ways. And it had a lot of adornments and stuff like that, as far as like gold and stuff like that. And they pretty much said the main reason for that was because the Jews didn't have a lot of temples; they only had one temple, so they were able to kind of put all of their tithes and all of their offerings and monetary stuff or whatever into that one temple. And from what I've heard of Herod so far, it sounds like he did a lot of building in the time, and then decided that the temple would be a cool thing to do too. So, but it's surprising to me that the Jews only have one, kind of centralized temple, and they can't even worship there anymore. Obviously, many years not being there was mainly the reason. But then nowadays they have the state and everything like that, but they're still not able to, even though they can't control everything and secure everything. Seems kind of strange. And then, considering that there's I don't know. I mean, I have to look it up, but I mean, there's obviously Mecca and multiple, holy sites for Muslims, but I guess this is also a holy site. From what I've heard, the Dome of the Rock is not even originally Muslim, but the temple itself had changed hands multiple times during the Holy Wars, and then at one point it may have originally been the Dome of the Rock itself, the structure, it may have originally been a Templar temple or whatever. And because it doesn't have some of the key attributes of a mosque. That said, though, I didn't research that at all. I just heard that on a random YouTube video, so that could be completely wrong. But yeah, I mean, it's still pick one, You need to have all the holy sites in the entire world. We don't even rule that area. And Muslims are kind of well known for taking over holy sites of other religions. Doing what they feel like with it, or just destroying entire, historical sites. So I don't really understand why the Jews can't have one holy site when it's pretty well documented. Also. Yeah, if no one's here, I guess I can just keep on talking. I am the importance of thankfulness on random news, Christian broadcast news today. So I'm thankful for my family. I actually have 7 kids going on 8, and thankful for all of them being healthy and wonderful wife. And my kids range from ages of 14 to 0. Well, they're not born yet. Oh crap, I'm going too far with this. Yeah, thankful for them. Thankful for parents that love me and taught me how to Christian from when I was born. Thankful for God, dying for our sins. And being born in America, obviously, it's something to be thankful for. And for I get to work from home, so that's nice. Thankful for that. See, I'll make kids a lot more than I was before I was working home. They're healthy, no major health problems at all. 70 kids, it's kind of hard to to really get out there and fellowship with the believers, that kind of stuff. So hopefully I can coerce a few people to come on the site to talk. And yeah, thankful for a wonderful wife that supports me really well, and all the kids. For being a Christian in the first place, for God died for our sins, and for the Bible and all of its being able to read the Bible in my language after reading the God Smuggler by Brother Andrew. It's definitely amazing how many people back in Communist Russia didn't have their own Bibles, or a whole Bible for an entire church, having a lot. So I'm thankful that I have a Bible in English that I can read and really educate myself on Christianity and what matters within our religion and life in general. Recently I've given up a few things to make my life more evident in Christ. I had always been fine with playing mature video games and watching radar movies and just TV and stuff like that by myself after when all the kids are asleep and everything. And then kind of realized my wife constantly said stuff like to my kids when they would ask me when they could play a certain like Borderlands or I don't know, Witcher or whatever, and they could play those games. And they'd say, well, they're not appropriate for children. And then my wife would say, well, they're not appropriate for adults either. And kind of, realizing that even if we don't necessarily think that we're being affected by media that's talking into our lives and just constant attitudes and stuff like that, most games, most TV shows and movies, that even if we don't feel like we're affected, we are. Those things can something we bring into our lives through those mediums. So cut back on. Told my kids I wouldn't play any more mature video games. Obviously, that doesn't. Mainly for strong language. I mean, if it's just straight violence, then yeah, maybe. So still working that out. But then obviously, just recently, I've just been reading a bunch of, doing a bunch of audibles, listening to a bunch of, to a couple of Christian autobiographies so far, Brother Andrew, and some stories from Corey Ten Boom. Making a list on my Audible of all the different missionary books there are in Audible. I really want to read the autobiographies, the real non-fictional stories, just to really get the amazing things he will go through and the amazing miracles they see. Obviously, Brother Andrew had just tons and tons of miracles happen when he was taking Bibles to Communist Russia. And by reading those, really seeing that, our life is definitely made to praise Him and made to further His kingdom, and that just playing video games and watching movies in my free time isn't necessarily doing me any good or helping anything. Well, I can't necessarily do mission work with 7 kids. I can at least do what I can in my free time to make sure I'm being a good example to my kids and pushing kind of society's norms on things Christians should do and shouldn't do. and frankly just figuring out what all this does mean, because half the time it doesn't feel like the life that I mean, having 7 kids and didn't teach them in God's ways, it's very noble. So doing those things is my main ministry, and outside of that, kind of knowing what it is to live as a Christian, live as a Christian man in America, and fellowshipping and furthering His kingdom. Young kids, it's always hard to do stuff, but I was trying to branch out and do more stuff later. You need to know all the different missionary groups and seeing where type can go and thought process, and hoping out in the future, or hoping out now with any stateside stuff. There's both the Temple Mount, and then you also have the exterior walls of the temple too, so I don't really understand when they talk about the height of the walls. It's hard to understand if they're talking about the Temple Mount, or if they're talking about the actual walls of the temple, so because they act like they vary in height, which doesn't make any sense if they're talking about the external walls of the temple. Because if the Temple Mount's somewhat flat, so it doesn't seem like it should vary that much. So yeah, don't know if I can go by height via the things I can find. Yeah, pretty much I feel like the height was 50 meters, which is very high, but then it acts like some of that's under the ground, so they're talking about retention walls as far as the Temple Mount goes. So, a few different sources I'm looking at. It's just hard to figure out exactly, what to go off of. Which ones are going to be the best. Wrong side. Anyway. Okay. Yeah. Maybe more interesting as I'm done with this, but this is going to take a long time, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be talking all these videos, because I'm definitely going to run out of things to talk about. So what I'm doing is filling in a large hole. I was surprised that the Temple Mount was this big. We earlier saw the part that I had done that wasn't in the mosaic tiles. I thought that would have been a decent size for the Temple Mount. But then after I actually looked it up, I realized that I was way off. Initially I was thinking about just doing like the Holy of Holies by itself. But that's actually really not that hard. It's simple. I did Solomon's Temple in another map that turned out fine, but I was already done. It was really fast, so it's not that big of a Solomon's Temple's pretty small, and it doesn't include like the courts, outer courts, or anything. So kind of went into, and then I realized the only reason I was doing it was kind of wanted to see what it was like when Jesus was there. So then obviously that would be the Second Temple or Herod's Temple. So, and then every time I kind of looked at that, it seemed like when you hear him talking about like if someone entered into the inner courts, they talk about him being on trial, Jesus being on trial. They talk about the inner and outer courts and how Timothy, no, not Jesus, when Paul went to Jerusalem and they act like he took Timothy or somebody into the inner courts, even though he was a Gentile. And so I realized that would be a kind of cooler thing to do, and a bigger undertaking. And then it just feels like, it's something I'm going to be doing multiple days a week, for the foreseeable future, then might as well try to do something really big. So, the Temple Mount itself is pretty much 488 meters by 280 meters, and each Minecraft block is a meter cube, so I go by the meters here, even though I don't know as much about the metric system. But it's very, very, very big for the Temple Mount. The temple itself is very small compared to how big the mount is. I did also create a PS4 community around this, just so anybody could put different different dimensions or research they find online, or kind of where we're at in the thing. I'd be totally fine with doing this with multiple people, and I wish I could do more of a computer type thing, just so we do some of this stuff. I've heard it's a lot easier to just lay down a gigantic area of blocks, but most of the time I'm on the PS4 and do the computer as well. And I think my current laptop doesn't really run Minecraft for some reason. Even though I can run other PS3 games. But yeah, it's it'd be nice if it was a PC, just because you could set a realm or something like that to house it, so I didn't have to be on for people to contribute, because I'm not on that often. So, and I'm not sure if there is a way, because I know that I did play Ark with a couple of crazies, and when I played Ark Survival, they had some people that were able to kind of keep the world open with a dummy account when they weren't on. But I mean, obviously, I don't really have a way to keep my PS4 on all day without it being tampered with by little children. So, but yeah, if it gives me offers, if anyone wants to do that, then yeah, I could care less if this is mine or not. Just want to see it done. It's definitely helped me learn more about the Temple Mount and everything. I've also been watching the Netflix, not Netflix series, but it's on Netflix, the Kingdoms and Charles Kingdoms and Rulers or something like that, or Kingdoms and something like 80, and made by maybe made the Bible series and stuff like that. It's good so far. I've pretty much, it's all past after Jesus is dead, and it obviously takes some creative liberties with different characters. Pilate's in it a lot, even though it's after Jesus, and I don't really remember seeing him much in the Bible besides when Jesus was alive. So, but yeah, it's good so far. It's so far I'm at right before Stephen gets murdered. That's pretty much the part I'm at in that series. I'm not really sure what else I'm gonna watch after that's done though. I just finished a small kind of vignette of short stories about things Corey Ten Boom did in the mission field, and probably reread it because it's pretty dense. Talking a lot of theology, a lot of the times. Not theology, but just general, like, things she believes and stuff like that about mission work and about Christianity in general and salvation. So I could probably listen to it again. It's not that long. It's only like 2.5 hours or something like that. She has multiple books on Audible, so she's a very courageous lady, and amazing for a person that was in a concentration camp to help people out that were Nazis after the fact. Really live in forgiveness. Probably read that though. And before that I read God's Smuggler from Brother Andrew, which is very awesome book. I hate when it's dark, so I can just make it all night. I mean, it's cool that it's dark when it's done, but it'd be nice while I'm making it if it just stayed light constantly. Like, whew. Not off it there. Where am I? Hearing sounds, but it doesn't seem like I'm doing anything. Well, anything if you wanna hear this and you wanna. Oh, actually, there's somebody on the line right now. Hello, viewer. And off. If anybody wants to pray for me in any way, I think it'd be great to pray for right now is my wife is pregnant and is having a lot of sickness, so it'd be nice if pray for her the sickness time to be over. It's only supposed to be in for like 12 weeks, but she's past 12 now and still having the sicknesses, and she's also pretty trepidatious of the birth too, so pray for peace and healing and a healthy baby. Feel free to, leave comments or join the PS4 community or join the game, whatever. I have to conclude tonight soon, so I can wake the baby up and put him back to sleep. I have a pretty much was born in June, so June last year, so I gotta make him March, so 9 months now. He's 9 months, so he's tonight still. So I'll wake him up before I go to sleep, just to feed him a bottle and put him back to sleep. So he wakes up later in the night, so my wife can get him up then. This seems like a really big, it's too big of an area to get that down. broadcasting or anything? Is it weird to acknowledge when you have one viewer? Like I left it immediately. So maybe it was. Ooh. I do have a problem with acute narcolepsy, maybe. I fall asleep, obviously when I'm tired, but kind of all the time. My kids sometimes, one of my oldest, they'll be talking to me or he'll see me sleep hold the baby or something. And when I wake up and say hi, he'll say good morning, no matter what part of the day it is. Funny little punk. Oh, what have I done? Sorry. What the heck am I doing? Okay, I am getting tired. Okay, so almost done with one side, which is good. Barely see the part of the table mount that I messed up. Yeah, it's nice to see. Okay. Into the pause when I sleep, so. Whew. Fell off my chair at that point. I think I'm done. So, almost done with one side. That's good at least. After the corner. Now for the rest of the area. It's gonna take some time. See ya!